It's time to get on the inside. It's time for the Microphone Insider. VO news, knowledge, and nonsense. Probably a lot of nonsense. Hosted by the VO trio, Jim Frost, Terry Briscoe, and by the hand of God, the amazing Grace Newton. How sweet the sound. This week's special guest, the voice of Donald Duck and Emmy Award winner, Daniel Ross. Welcome to the inside.
Well, hopefully we have the inside going. What's happening, guys?
Hey,
I
y'all.
can hear you. This is good.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Of course, it's an echo in my ear, but that's okay. Welcome to the inside. We're back. Terry wasn't supposed to be with us, but due to operator error, he had the wrong date for an event that he had going on. So glad you're here, Terry.
Yeah, super stoked you could make it. It's
I
not
got to
the
tell you,
VO
man, I was
trio.
ready to pick up the
Without him.
slack. I was
I heard
ready.
you had a hell of a recipe ready.
If Jim can make it, you can too. I was going to have not just bread, but sourdough bread. And I was going to toast that bread and then spread some peanut butter on it. I had pictures. I was ready to go, but you're here, so we don't have to have my lame recipes. So it's all good. How you guys doing?
I mean,
Okay, great. Nobody speak
good.
at once.
Full disclosure, I am kind of battling a case of bronchitis, so I have tissues at the ready if I have to sneeze or something. My
I've got a
bad.
roll of paper towels because that's how bad things are in my world right now
All right.
with the sinuses. So yeah, it's all good. Terry, you're wearing your Nava shirt. Love to see it.
It's my uniform for the
I've
show.
got my button on, so we're good to go. Oh, look at people are already chiming in. I forget. It's been a while since we've done this, so let's see what we have going on here. Let's see, Bill. Let's go to the beginning. Oh my God, we have so many people saying hi. Stephanie. Oh, Terry. What happened to Grace?
I
Grace-
don't know.
What'd you do, by Grace? By the hand of God.
I had to sneeze already. Okay, there I am.
Hey, Steph. Let's just roll through a couple of these hellos. And Gwen. Michael Gonzalez. For you guys that don't know Michael, he sits down low like I am right now, but the guy's like 6'2". I mean, he's like Shaq Gonzalez. He
You were so
really is. Yes, you are correct.
I love Michael.
I like Michael too. I don't love him, but I like him.
He always says things you do not expect out of the blue, and it gets me every time.
Mike Cunningham. All right.
Mike
cool.
Katobis, there's a thing up in there where if you sign in, it'll allow us to see your name. I can see your name on Facebook, but we can't see your name in our comment section.
You know, I don't have anybody right now that's having that issue, so we are cool and good. How'd you get on with Terry? What's going on, man? Terry says
What?
hello. Thanks, Terry.
I'm on the Facebook page monitoring the chat, so all the Facebook users can get a call out.
Michael C, Mr. G. Now you guys just talking among yourselves. Okay. Inside the
Didn't you learn anything from watching Dave Fennoy?
Have I? Yeah. No.
Didn't you learn anything from watching Dave Fennoy?
That's all right. I'm trying to go over them, but we got so many to start with.
You know what? I love that you guys are talking to each other. It's what you should do.
The inside of Jim's headphones is where we all want to be. Yeah, just don't get inside my head because you'll never come out the same. What's up, Bill?
Taylor. DF.
What's the DF stand for?
That's Daryl. I believe that's Daryl. He's in Maryland. I met him at Johnny Heller's Splendiferous Weekend in Virginia.
Sweet.
Which Stephanie Johnson hosted at her brewery. It was like
that's right.
time and a half.
Mikey
Daryl's
G.
people.
Mumbo.
Not
And you and
Mambo. So no mumbo sauce for you, Michael. All right, let's go. Here we go. Terry, give the spiel now.
Give the
Facebook
bush.
user.
Now, oh, Facebook user. Who's let's go. Let's
Yeah.
see
So
who's
if you guys look up top in the description on the main page of the Insider, or if you go over to the chat, the top, if you hit the see more, you'll see a little link that'll ask you to give permission for us to say hello, for you to say hello to us, like Mike does, and he sees all this stuff here. So, God, this is going on crazy. Oh, Daryl Franklin. There we go.
Thank
There
you,
you
Mike.
Good to go. Yeah, Sarah Susskind joining us. Hey, Sarah.
Aw, hi, Sarah.
And Michael's apologizing, so it's all good. You guys have any questions for our guest coming up? We have an incredible guest this week. I met him in I think it was Switzerland where we first met, almost a year and a half ago. Actually, about a year and a half ago. And he is just a wacky guy. He really is. He's the voice of Donald Duck. He does a lot of other voices. He's an Emmy Award winner. So if you have any questions for our guest, Daniel Ross, get them ready. Get them in the chat. We'll bring you up, and we'll help you out. We'll get some answers for you. All right, let's get things rolling, I guess. What do you guys want to do first? Want to get to our spotlight?
I think that's how we should do it. Let's go.
All right. And today's spotlight winner is Kevin Lowney. Kevin, you were one of our 4 winners when we first put this out. You were the last of the 4, so we are going to be putting out a new audition. Not that you're the last; it's just you're just the 4th person that we have on there. That's all. And we're going to have another audition coming up for our next couple shows. So you guys out there on the inside, get ready for that. Kevin, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to finally be on. This is amazing.
Well, I'll tell you what. Where'd Grace go again? Grace keeps disappearing.
She'll be back.
Oh, there she is. All right, cool. Tell us a bit about yourself, Kevin, like where you are in your journey, what genres do you like? Give us your elevator pitch. Let us know who you are and why should we hire you?
South of Boston. I'm a theater kid by hobby, I guess. I don't know, since high school. Just left 20 years in radio, so I've been getting out of a lot of bad habits. But I know a lot of recording, I know a lot of editing. Do the odd voice. Love doing the trailer, the teaser for the show, which is really fun. And yeah, I just like to do a lot of sincere voices, a lot of, people believe what I say kind of things. Commercial reads are probably my go-to, especially again with that radio background. But looking to branch out, maybe do some audio stuff, audio books, I should say. Yeah, that's the short of it. I mean, I'd love to do animation at some point, but again, you gotta work those muscles. You gotta really get a whole different mindset for how you record and how you do scripts.
That's a whole different
That's
genre, without a
very well
doubt.
said.
Yeah. So 20 years in radio in Boston area?
Boston area, yeah. I was at a PLM, a 50,000-watt radio station, which
I
is
know,
kind of fun.
down in Plymouth.
Yeah. You
okay.
see the 4 towers when you head into the Cape.
All right, very cool, very cool.
Last 2 years, I was on a very local radio station, 95.9 WATD, and like everything with local politics, all the local restaurants and everything. It's really, honestly, a lot of what radio should be at this point.
Yeah. Well, don't lose that radio read, okay? Because it will come in handy. Basically, learn how to control it.
Exactly.
Don't just get rid of it. Be able to call on that when it's ready. All right, so if people want to get a hold of you, just check out your website, voiceoverkevin.com.
.com. I'm in the middle of working on a demo. I thought I'd have it just in time for the show, but so when you hear a fairly radio-sounding demo, it's because, yeah, those are commercials that were actually on the air.
Oh, sweet. So you're putting a
Right
sample
on,
demo
okay.
together.
Exactly.
Very cool.
I'm
You guys have any
whole new-
questions for our guest?
Oh golly, I didn't think. No, no. Dave's after me.
No. I'm asking my co-host if they have any
Yeah.
questions for you. You're our guest right now, Kevin.
Yes.
You're
Oh,
the
this is
guest.
You're the special guest.
I got my own window and everything. Right.
Yeah.
I guess I would like to know what has been your biggest challenge since you've started this whole voice acting thing.
Trying to figure out the next step. I wish I made a lot of the connections that I made over the last 2 years, specifically. But I wish I knew a lot of these people were out there, because and get to know you, and It just never occurred to me. I was going down my little path, and there was just so much more out there that I wish I knew earlier. So
Yeah.
if you're just getting started, by all means, reach out to as many people as you can. Just say hi. You never know who you're going to meet.
Yeah, we hear it a lot in this industry. You don't know what you don't know. And that is
Yeah.
so true when you're just first getting started. We have the demo mills and then the qualified coaches and then somewhere in between everything else. So yeah, it can be challenging just starting out for sure.
Without a
Oh
doubt.
yeah.
Expensive mistakes can be made.
Oh sure.
Yeah, definitely can.
Bill knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, radio guys. Yeah,
Yeah.
Bill.
Bill's an old
You
guy.
got to
Yeah.
stick together. Find me.
All right. Well, Kevin, thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for doing such a great job. If anybody wants to get a hold of
Yeah.
Kevin,
Oh,
you can find him on our Facebook page, The Microphone Insider. I'll find him on Facebook, LinkedIn, everywhere, probably through his website, voiceoverkevin.com.
I'm Kevin Lowney and voiceover Kevin just about anywhere. Come find me. And in 2 weeks, I'm going to see Rama, last week's guest, when he's doing one of his stage productions.
Cool. Hey, do me a
Oh,
favor.
That's
cool.
good.
That's so awesome.
Check your mic cable, because when you moved right then, we got some crackling noises. So you might have something happen
Oh,
there.
I hate this damn thing. I talk with my hands, and
Yeah.
I should know better. Put the microphone where it is.
All right, cool. All right, sir. Well, thanks for
Cool.
joining us. Great
Thanks.
job, and we'll see you next time, and we'll see you on the inside, okay?
Awesome. Good to be
Later,
on the
Kevin.
inside. Thanks.
Very cool. All right. Good to see him. He did a great
Yeah.
job too. Very announcery. He gave us that promo read, which was cool. We've had 4 distinct different reads for this. Same
Yep.
script basically, but 4 distinct reads, which is kind of cool. Which
I
goes to
loved his audition, and then when I heard the copy for this specific show, I was just like blown away. I was like, "Thank you."
and that was one of 3 that he gave me.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I wasn't able to decide which one. DF Raisin. Looking forward to seeing the rest of the trio face to face at Atlanta. Well, I think it's just me going, right? Are you guys
Grace will
going?
always
I'm
appear.
not going. I love that. I am not going at this time. No, I'm thinking I'm out this year. I was there last year and I need to recoup some stuff, and I'm going to Costa Rica, so wasn't in the travel budget, but
You just showed up last year. So
Costa
who
Rica
knows?
kind of dried up the travel budget for me, so no VO Atlanta this year.
Yeah. Well, I got a cash cow at home, so I just get as much as I can when I can, you know?
you might want to think of a different animal. I know it's a phrase. Just saying.
I could
If
say
you wanna
cash
keep it flowing.
cooper, maybe.
Yeah,
but-
cash cock.
All right. Well, if Terry
Love you,
can make
Melanie.
yeah, she's listening too, I think, too, because she wanted to hear Daniel. If Terry can make it, you can too. So, Terry, what's going on, bud? This is a pretty basic recipe here. I could do this one.
Well, I didn't think I was going to be on the show today, and I had taken some pictures just in case I ever had a chance like this, and I was like, you know what? Today's the day. So we're talking easy. Anyone literally can do this. Jim can make this. So
Sorry. I was choking on my drink.
tomato and dumpling soup with chicken sausage. Come on, rotate.
Okay.
Let's go.
Oh, you want me to turn the cards?
I like it because I can't eat regular sausage now. Anyway, go ahead.
Super delicious, man. It's basic as hell and super delicious. So Trader Joe's sells this tomato dumpling soup. So basically you just buy a jar of that and you simmer that on your stovetop. And you get a pack of turkey sausage or chicken sausage, or if you're a pork eater, whatever kind of sausage you want. And then you make that right on your stovetop. If you have a cast iron skillet, that's the way to roll. So you want to get that, brown those sausages up, get them nice, and make sure you cook them. See how beautiful they are? Beautiful, right? So you cook those up, you get that pot simmering, and then when you're done, you got to make sure that sausage is perfectly cooked. You do not want raw sausage. Then you just chop that up and throw it in there, mix it around, add some Italian seasoning, some salt and pepper, and you are good to go. That is
Damn.
that. You got dumplings, you got tomato soup, you got chicken in there. And if you're really feeling frisky, and I'm telling you it's fantastic, make a nice grilled cheese sandwich with some Gruyere to go with that.
Dang. All
Yeah.
right. You know, I use that Alfresco chicken sausage, so it's already cooked. It's fully cooked, so you just have
There
to
you go.
brown it.
So it's chip proof.
It's gym proof. Yeah, exactly. All right, cool. Well, we'll put that up on the Facebook page. You guys want to make that nice and easy. So, a couple more comments here before we get going. Stephanie, Stephanie, maybe. Um, uh, it depends on if the grape soda is coming from the brewery. No, I'm just kidding. No big deal. Bill Seller's going to be there too, so that's cool. Awesome. All right. And one last from Mike.
Yay.
I was afraid when I see Mike Cunningham's name.
Same.
Mike.
See, and that's why.
You like that raw sausage? That's what you're saying, Mike? You like that raw sausage?
I'm not even gonna. Yeah, no
I love
worries.
it. Secretly, I do love it.
Never. Sorry, I'm not getting back into stand up again. Probably just because I don't know. I don't want to leave the house. No grape soda. Okay, no big deal. All right, let's get on to our next segment of the show so we can get to our guest. I'm itching to talk with Daniel. He's coming up real soon. Daniel, I see you in the green room. Relax. We're going to get to you very soon. We have our Mental Health Monday segment we do on, I think Daniel's camera just fell. Oh, he's okay.
Uh-oh.
You guys can't see what I see. I'm sorry. Grace, let's hook us up with some mental health so we can, well, help us with our mental health. How does that sound?
Right. Well, every Mental Health Monday I've done on our TMI Facebook page, there's a recurring theme. It's get adequate sleep. That
Mhm.
restorative sleep is different from just taking a nap or getting drunk and going to sleep, passing out, which I do, but that's fine. Do as I say, not as I do. No, restorative sleep is important in every aspect of health, mental health, all the things. I don't need to tell you why it's important, but I will tell you things that can make it harder for you to sleep are. And I researched page after page and medical journal after medical journal. I went down a lot of different rabbit holes, but I found a recurring, like the same thing. What makes it hard for you to sleep is common sense. I don't know why I had to read medical journals, but stress or anxiety, pain, certain health conditions, heartburn or asthma, of course, can be like, what? Can't go to sleep. Caffeine, usually from coffee, tea, soda, alcohol and other drugs, untreated sleep disorders like sleep apnea or insomnia. A lot of people don't even know that they have sleep apnea. So yeah, across the pages again, what helps you make changes to your sleep routine and get the restorative sleep that you need to function, get along better with your relationships, work, be more productive at everything that you do. Change what you do during the day. For example, get your physical activity in the morning instead of at night. That can be hard if you're more of a nocturnal person, but again, gauge it to what works for you as an individual. Create a comfortable sleep environment, for example. Make sure your bedroom is dark and quiet. If you are sun facing during the morning, maybe consider getting some blackout curtains. It says set a bedtime routine. I kind of balked at that because our schedules as voice actors are not always routine oriented or structured. But it is suggested that go to bed at the same time every night. Good luck. Um,
Truth.
yeah. Make sure your bedroom is quiet, dark, relaxing, and at a comfortable temperature. A lot of people are what are called hot sleepers, so they need it to be very cool. I am in that category. A lot of people shiver, so they need a little more heat. Hopefully, if you have a partner, you guys can agree.
Nope.
Uh-oh, there he says. The big thing is, which I think is so unrealistic, but we really need to do it, y'all. Remove electronic devices, TVs, computers, smartphones from the bedroom. Avoiding that blue light an hour before you plan to go to bed is huge. Your mind starts to do the falling asleep thing instead of taking in all this media. Also, avoid large meals, caffeine, and alcohol before bedtime. That's not happening for me. And it said get some exercise, be physically active during the day. It can help you fall asleep more easily at night. Couple things about concerns. I want to alert you to common signs of sleep disorders. Remember, it's normal to have trouble falling asleep every now and then, but if any of this applies to you, it might be a good idea to do some research or see a doctor. Trouble falling or staying asleep for more than 4 nights out of your week, still feeling tired after a good night's sleep. Sleepiness during the day that makes it difficult to do everyday activities like driving or concentrating at work. Frequent loud snoring, especially if your own snoring wakes you up.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's a problem.
I mean, how are you supposed to fall into
Hello.
REM sleep? Pauses in breathing or gasping while sleeping. This is a big one. Tingling or crawling feelings in your legs or arms at night that feel better when you move or massage the area, and feeling like it's hard to move when you first wake up. My computer took a shit on me earlier, so I wasn't able to print everything. But I think I remember the quote I wanted to leave you with. It's an old Irish proverb, and it goes like, a good laugh and a good sleep are really good for you. That's not how it went at all. Google it. It's an old Irish proverb. A good laugh and a good sleep are like the doctor's best medicine, something
A
like
good
that.
laugh, a good sheep, and a shot of whiskey. I say sheep. No, sleep. Nah. Jeez.
Heyo.
And also hydrate. Hydrate. I found I don't
Yes.
drink enough water. And when I started drinking more water, now I'm sleeping better. So very excited about that.
But drink that water before bedtime.
Yeah, plenty of time before bedtime.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Hey, listen, I've got a friend of yours, Terry, reaching out and texting me. Steve.
Who's that? Yeah, Steve.
Yeah, he's having a hard time getting on with us. Hopefully, he can figure it out.
Ward.
So maybe you can reach out. All right, listen, we've wasted not wasted, but I mean it's already 20 past. We're normally talking to our guest by now, so let's put your hands together. Let's make some noise. I have no idea where my sounds are, so I'm not going to be able to clap. So please, everybody clap for the one, the only. He is an Emmy Award winner. He's a gremlin. He's a leprechaun. He's a duck. He's a purple shake
Taste bud.
endorsement. What's that?
He's a taste bud.
He's a taste bud. There you go. Put your hands together. Oh, he's right there. It's Daniel Ross.
It's fine.
Hello, everybody. Sorry, I had to do stuff with my phone.
Love it.
Oh, and congrats to Kevin, by the way.
Yeah.
Well done, sir.
He did a great job. Well, hey, thanks for joining us. I know you've had a busy year. You won an Emmy. You're just on fire. And we've had the conversation, and you kind of fell into this thing. And you kind of have the storybook entrance to voiceover, which is it's like a fairy tale. It's what we all dream of, so you're living the dream. You really are. Before we get to that, I need to ask you a question, because we have people that are kind of smart asses for audience members. So sometimes they ask some real smart ass questions. We have this thing called the TMI, the Microphone Insider, TMI bonus question. It's a little risque sometimes. It's a little, what's
Irreverent.
to say? Yeah. So my question to you, myself, being someone that has dressed up like Winnie the Pooh for Halloween, red shirt and a bucket of honey. That's it. How do you feel about being in front of all these kids not wearing pants as Donald Duck?
I mean, I wear pants. I'm an avid user of pants. I've used them much of my life. Sometimes shorts, sometimes trunks, but always pants. So I can't really speak to that.
Do you have pants on right now?
No comment. This interview is here, so we're going to keep it that way.
Pictures or it
we
didn't
were
happen?
talking about sleeping hot. Well, I'm just hot all the time, so I don't know.
Ouch.
Who feels attacked? Someone feels attacked on this Facebook thing. Larry Oberner, nice to join us. Hey,
Excellent.
Daniel, tell us how you got into voiceover and how you got into being Donald Duck. It's a fascinating story. If anybody has any questions for Daniel, please put them in the comments and put a Q in front of your question or the word questions so we know it's a question, not just a crazy comment. So tell us about your journey.
Oh man, well, let's see here. I was born to two parents, a mother and a father, and I was an infant for a long period of time. We can skip all that. I have always been fascinated and loved the performing arts. I journeyed through theater. My degree in college was musical theater, and then I dropped out and I decided I wanted to get into film and TV. And so, I was a professional extra for a long period of time while I was living in the Maryland, Washington, D.C. area. And I just really discovered that was, I think, something I wanted to dive more into. I always felt that there was some modicum of magic when I would go to a movie theater or watch a TV show and just escape into situations that I may never see with my own eyes or feel things that I may never feel, in my lifetime. And that was just pure magic to me. And so I was fascinated by it and started producing my own schlocky independent horror comedies and kind of making a name for myself in the DC Baltimore area. And from there, I just said, what's next? And one of the things that I kind of always did was make wacky voices and do impersonations of characters. And people said, you should try voiceover. And I'm like, but I'd have to go to LA and I'd have to do all this and all that. And I procrastinated like crazy up until the point where there was an opening in my life. And I said, I think I should give it a shot because YOLO, you only live once, might as well try. So I packed up my car, drove out here to Los Angeles almost 10 years ago. It'll be 10 years in April. That I've been here, and I guess it was a good gamble because I found my tribe. I found other amazing voice actors that I enjoy spending time with and just being in awe of because this community is incredible. And I found a home. I found a home, and so I love what I do. I wouldn't rather be doing anything else. I do plan to get back to some on-camera work. I have a feature that I filmed over the summer that'll be coming out later this year called A Very Stinky Summer, and I'm very excited about that. So I'll be leaning more into that again in the future. And then Donald Duck. Let's talk about Donald Duck. So I've been doing that voice forever. That was a party trick for friends. I see the little thing. I can't get the. There we go. There he is. It was a party trick. And so I never thought in a million years I'd ever have an opportunity to even be in a position to show Disney. And when I moved here, within the very first year of my being here, my agent said, you do the Donald voice, right? And I said, yeah, yes, I do. And she said, well, we've got an audition for you. And it was for Mickey and the Roadster Racers. And so I'm out of my mind excited, like, oh, cool, I get to submit. I mean, it's nothing's ever going to happen.
Right.
Probably thousands of other people who can do that voice. And so I gave it a shot. And a month later, I got a call back and had to go to Disney directly. And I was just out of my mind excited. Green behind the ear voice actor, fresh to LA, not a care in the world except to get it right and to do the best I could. And it was a successful venture, and I voiced Donald for 8 amazing years in Mickey and the Roadster Racers, Mickey Mouse Mixed Up Adventures, some other incredible things. And then, as you mentioned, I won an Emmy last year for Mickey and Minnie Wish Upon a Christmas, which was just a dream come true on so many fronts.
Now,
that is so incredible. Can I ask you?
Grace.
Okay, yeah, I'm
No!
super curious about this. What were you like as a kid? And are you a middle child by any chance? Or do you have siblings? Where are you in the hierarchy of siblinghood?
I am. I have one older sister, so I am a younger brother.
Okay.
But that's it. Just one sibling. And
Okay.
yeah.
I was just
What
asking
was the other part
because,
of the question?
middle children seem to seek out various forms of escapism. So I maybe thought you were like, so what were you like as a kid was the basic question.
Oh yes,
Were
no,
you
I
a
was a bit of a
child following?
troublemaker. I was a bit of a troublemaker. I used
Shocker.
my vocal powers and prowess for the forces of evil. I would do prank phone calls and imitate my teachers, and get into all different kinds of shenanigans. Until I realized, hey, that's a job somebody could have. Why not me? Maybe I could do something with that. And now I use my powers for good, to make people
Yes.
happy, to spread some love and some joy. And I'm so glad that something that has been with me my entire life that I had no idea was even a possibility I could go into is what I do for a living now. I wake up every day in pure gratitude because of it. And yeah, I was a troublemaker, but I was a good kid. I was a good kid, but I would get in trouble.
I love
Now, the
that.
Donald Duck that you do is a little different than the Donald Duck that I grew up with. It's a cleaner talk for the kids so they can understand, because Donald Duck, he was just illegible. Is that the word? Yeah. Couldn't understand what he was saying half the time. So you cleaned it up a bit for the kids, correct?
That is correct. That was actually a note that the producers asked of me, because when I was doing my audition, they asked me to get as close to Clarence Ducky Nash as possible, who was the original voice of Donald Duck from 1934, and he voiced Donald for 50 years till 1984, and then Tony Anselmo took over, and is still the official voice to this day. So my job was to emulate as closely as possible. And yeah, he was unintelligible, couldn't really tell what he was saying. And so the producer said, can you make him a little clearer so we can give him more things to say? And I was like, what? And they said, can you pitch him up a little bit so he's a little more accessible to the younger ones? And I said, yeah, accessible. And so we came up with, I guess my version of the character. But
Right.
realistically, in my mind, I was aiming for as little difference as possible, because this character is going to be 90 years old in June, by the way. So he's been around longer than I have. And people have an expectation of what that
Hmm.
character sounds like. So I didn't want to impede on that. I wanted people who were tuning in to be like, that's my Donald Duck.
Right.
And so that was a huge challenge for me to kind of find the balance of making him more intelligible and communicative, and still keeping the spirit and the heart of that character that so many people have grown to love the world over.
I think
I
the only
love that
difference
so
that I
much.
have with my
Yes.
Donald Duck is that there's a lot of arguing with that Donald Duck. He didn't say too many words. He said 5 or 6 things, and he just like he just would go crazy.
That's right. Yeah. That was
I
very
think
well
love
your
done by
Donald
them.
Duck is more legible, and there's a lot more words, more dialogue.
I
I
love
think.
that
Absolutely.
I love that you had respect for their character going in, and you wanted to make as little changes as possible to keep the authenticity of a character that people have loved for, like you said, 90 years. It's pretty incredible. I love that. Very good.
And I think one of the things that I love the most is when I go to conventions or I make an appearance somewhere, people want to show me their version of Donald Duck. They want to
Yeah.
they want to quack with me, or they want to do Mickey Mouse and have a conversation. And I hear stories about how, my grandfather used to do that voice and it would make me feel special, or my
Oh,
aunt, my uncle, my cousin, whomever it is. And sometimes those people are not with us anymore.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so those memories of such a silly, fun, amazing voice ties us all together, because my mom taught me how to do that voice when I was 3. And so, that was our love language for the time that I had her. And I lost her 2 years ago to cancer. And so I know inherently when somebody says, this person who I loved did that voice, we are instantly connected. And it's the joy and privilege of a lifetime to look them in the eyes and say, I have a message for you. I love you very much. And I'm a regular schmo who came up off the street and was showered with this incredible gift. And I take that very seriously. And I love the fans. I love the connectivity that we all have. And it's just this one quacking character that we all love, that Walt Disney imagined.
Yeah.
oh,
My
I'm an
favorite Disney
empath.
character.
I'm an empath. Someone say something funny. I'm tearing up.
Pee pee poo poo. Beep beep boop.
Terry,
So who's
All
your
right.
favorite character, Donald?
Thanks, Daniel.
You're welcome anytime.
what's that, Terry?
Who's your favorite character after Donald?
Colonel Science.
Hey, you know it's your best friend Mickey.
Well, gee, Donald, I'm here too. It's a party. Hey, Facebook user wants to know, what are those toys on the shelves? They Transformers, and Todd actually wants to know what those toys are too.
Oh, yes, they are Transformers. I am an avid collector. I have been ever since I was a little kid. It's a problem, but I love them regardless. And one of my first very big voiceover jobs was actually voicing Starscream for Transformers the game back in 2007. So I've been a Transformers fan through and through. I do have some pop figures of the characters that I've voiced. And so,
Woohoo!
you know, we've got some Lucky the Leprechaun, we've got
Yay!
Gizmo, Stripe, and the all-new Holiday Grimace.
Nice.
You know,
Yeah.
speaking of Grimace,
Hello.
how'd that come about?
Grimace, interestingly enough, I had auditioned for this character 2 years ago, and there was a Super Bowl commercial where they were doing, everybody was up at the menu going, can I get and it was lots of different celebrities and things like that. And then Grimace is up there going, and then he has two sandwiches saying, pick me, no, pick me. And so that was me, and I did Grimace, and I did the sandwiches, and I was so excited because Grimace, oh my gosh, one of my favorite McDonald Land characters of all time. And I was just so incredibly honored to be playing him. So I was excited, and it came out, and it wasn't my voice. And I'm like, what? That's not my, that's somebody else's, And I look online, all over the news, Ryan Reynolds voices Grimace for McDonald's, and I'm like, don't you have enough, sir? Don't you have
What?
enough? But
Oh,
it
no.
was still so much fun. They kept my voice as the sandwiches. And then a year later, they said, hey, we've got this promotion coming up for Grimace and a birthday shake. And, you know, we'd like you to do Grimace. And I said, great, let's do it. And so this time it stuck. And the commercials released. It was a joy. I was excited as a voice actor just to have a national commercial, let alone a character that has pop figures and everybody seems to love and think is a taste bud. He's not, by the way. He's not a taste bud. You want to know what Grimace actually is?
Yes.
What is
Do tell.
Grimace?
He's a grimace.
Ah.
Keep that secret.
Once again.
Yeah,
I love
so
this
so
segment.
that was incredible, and then it took on a life of its own on social media. I think Gen Z collectively said we want the evil Grimace back from the 70s, and now he's like an eldritch god, and there must be sacrifices made. And so there was the whole shake trend where people were pouring the shake all over themselves, and it just blew up. And so I don't think anybody saw that coming, let alone little old me. And it's just been a joy to see it. Some of the videos are really creative. Some of them were very dark,
They're
but
very
most of them
dark.
are really creative.
Facebook user who I think is Mike Katrobis, he reached out to me. He knows Donald's voice sort of resonates in your cheek, but is it tough to do over a long period of time?
That's a great question. The technical term is buccal speech. Buccal speech, based off of the teeth that are called buccal. And so, yeah, there's a pocket of air in my cheek that makes the sound. And then I use my mouth parts to articulate, and I use the back of my throat for hard consonants. Donald can't say duck without in the back, so I have to use multiple parts of my face to make that character voice, which can be tricky at times. But yeah, that's how it works. Some people do it a little differently. Some people like pull back into their throat and have like a pocket down here that they use. But for me, it's in the cheek, right where the dimple is.
So can you do it for a long period?
I'm sorry?
Is this something you can do over a 3-hour period or a 4-hour period record session?
Yeah, I can do it for a very long period of time, but like any muscle, it gets tired. It
Hmm.
definitely gets tired. There was one session that I had early in my recordings for Mickey and the Roadster Racers where I overdid it and I didn't realize what my limit was. And my cheek was really raw and I started bleeding. And
Ooh.
so my tongue is swelling up. And my voice director, Kelly Ward, who was incredible, says, "Hey, Daniel, I think we should take a break." And I'm like, "No, no, I'm fine. This is like God. This is great. This is great." And so I learned my limit, and I had to ice myself and my cheek to repair the damage. But just like working out, it takes time, and the more you do it, the better you become.
No
And
pain, no gain.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Terry.
Peter Rain Hirschhorn wants to know, now that you are so well known as Donald Duck, do you ever feel like you got pigeonholed or put in a box?
To a degree, sure. You can't escape the orbit of such a monumentally huge character, and get out unscathed. But I'm happy to be that person. Again, this is a character with so much history, so much rich history, love and appreciation the world over, comic books for decades and shows. Everybody loves Donald Duck, and so I don't shy away from that. If somebody sees me as the Duck, then I want to be the best representative of that character that I possibly can be. Is that the limit to what I can do in this industry? Absolutely not. And in fact, there are many things that I do, to this day. Most recently, I voiced Gizmo and Stripe from the Gremlins in a great game called Multiverses. I voiced some really creepy characters in Diablo 4. Some fun characters in the upcoming Killer Clowns from out. Sometimes people just say Donald Duck. That's the Donald Duck, and I'm fine with that.
Great answer.
Grace.
Yeah, little known fact, you are actually as well a film producer and a writer. How did those skills develop, and was that something you wanted starting out? An aspiration you had starting out?
I wanted to be a performer. That has always been the goal. And so writing and producing really were just byproducts of wanting to work. And so I figured I have to do these other things that require different skills in order to do the thing that I wanted to do in the first place, which is to be in front of the camera. So I was producing, my own content, obviously with the talents of a wide range of other people as well. My film partner, Justin Tim Payne, who I did all the Ninjas movies with, a bunch of other people. And then, yeah, writing so that I could produce, so that I could act. It was all a means to an end. And so, for voiceover these days, it's kind of like you have to stay in people's periphery in order to get what you want and in order to get the job opportunities. So you got to network, you got to put in the time, you have to, work TikTok and make some fun videos that people get to know who
Yeah.
you are just beyond the character voices. And what an amazing tool that's been for me to be able to say, hey, I'm not just Donald Duck. Yes, that's part of the lexicon of who I am, but I'm also all these other things and I'm a human being. So I like the opportunity to be able to showcase that. And yeah, I still love producing. It's not something I've done in a while. I did a short film over the pandemic called The Distanced, which was a love story between two people who were in quarantine, basically. And I love the process. I love bringing incredibly talented people together to create something bigger than ourselves. That's something I take a lot of joy and pleasure in. So yeah, I enjoy producing, but I love being in front of the camera or behind the microphone the most.
Once again, if you guys have a
Very
question,
cool.
put it in the
Thank
chat
you.
and put the word question before it if you want to queue. Terry.
This question is from Mike Katrobis. Do you keep a Donald Duck toy nearby while you're recording for inspiration?
Thank you for the question, Mike. Yes, absolutely. In my office, I am surrounded by lots of Donald Duck memorabilia. I have some stuffed figures. I don't know if you can. Let me see if I can turn. I gotta turn the other way. There we go.
Go
I gotta
ahead.
move out of the way. There we go. There's some stuffed Donalds back there. I've got a Donald Pop figure over here as well, and my walls are lined with Mickey and the Roadster Racer stuff. So yeah, absolutely, part of the inspiration while I'm recording.
Very cool. Mike Cunningham hopes one day his voice is replaced by Ryan Reynolds or Chris Pratt. Yeah, sure, why not? That's how he knows he's made it. All right.
I mean, of all the things that could possibly happen, I'm not mad about it.
That's true. All right, tread lightly. Kristen would like to know, who is your favorite casting director? And
Well,
follow-up question, and why?
Asking for a friend.
Yeah.
who's my favorite casting director? Oh man, I know a casting director named Kristen, so it's very interesting that question would come to me. I will say that during my Emmy speech, I did call out two amazing people, Kristen Paiva, Dave Wright, who gave me the opportunity to voice that incredible character. I would not be doing what I'm doing had certain people not said, this guy right here. And they saw something in me, and I will always appreciate that for the rest of my life. I get the opportunity to work with a lot of amazing voice directors and casting directors who I share fun moments with and relationships with. But it's a business at the end of the day, and you've got to bring your best to the table consistently. And so that's what I try to do anytime I'm auditioning and I get a chance to be in front of a great casting director like Kristen Paiva.
I'm getting something in my ears. Hold on a second. Hold on. This suck up moment is brought to you by Mike Cunningham. Okay. All right. She says hi back.
But
Yeah.
I mean that. I love you, Kristen. Thank you for everything. Mwah.
Kristen is snacking Jom after this called. I can only say it's going to be smacking Jim, I would think, is what's supposed to be. But I'm surprised she hasn't texted me yet to yell at me. But we had some other questions.
She ignored my advice about no alcohol before bed.
Did she? No comment.
Let me ask you a question. Okay, I'll ask Nevin's question.
Go ahead.
Oh, nope. All right, my question is, you have booked some fantastic roles and like some dream jobs even. Is there one that got away from you?
Grimace almost got away. Grimace almost got away if Ryan Reynolds wasn't busy being Deadpool, I'm sure. I can't say that there's been anything that's gotten away from me. I'm trying to think if there was any stories I could tell. I was cast in a Star Wars thing at one point. It was for Rogue One, and I was an X-Wing pilot, and I got to work with Dave Filoni, and that was really cool. But they ended up replacing my voice for somebody who had a different vocality, a different vocal quality than I do. And so I couldn't be mad about that because I still got paid. But I think the more apt question is bucket list items that I want to do. I want to do everything that was in or a part of my childhood. Things that I used to watch, like Masters of the Universe, Transformers, Gem of the Hologram, Smurfs, Tom and Jerry. Those things are on my bucket list. And I've gotten to cross off a lot of those, which is astounding to me. But again, it's been 10 years into specifically doing voiceover, and I'm excited to see what the future holds. If there is a future for me, I certainly hope there is. I'm going to keep working at it, but I love what I do, and I love that I get the chance to reach out to people's inner child, the same one that was me sitting in front of the TV for Saturday morning cartoons, just in wonderment and amusement of all these different voices. I want to give that to the next generation of kids. I want them to have a place of solace in their heart that they can go back to when life maybe isn't so wonderful. Because let's face it, sometimes life is all over the place. But those little moments, those little tidbits of solace, that's what I want to give back. That's what I want my legacy to be over time. And so whatever character or characters that happens to be, it's all accomplishing the same thing in my mind.
Cool. Jerry
Yes, Nevin. I was
or
gonna bring that
Grace.
up.
Yeah.
The video you posted, Daniel, of you talking to Donald and he was with Daisy and he was like pointing. Where can people find that? I've tried to go back and find it and I can't.
Oh, so it's on my TikTok. If you
Okay,
follow
yeah.
me on TikTok, right now it's blowing up. It had, I think, 1.2 million views over the past 48 hours.
It's amazing.
Um,
Love it.
it's incredible to me. I mean, that was just, I was in the parks with friends. It was a respite from a very difficult time earlier this year. And I had an opportunity to just wave and say hello, and it turned into a whole thing. My buddy Mike Doherty picked up the camera and started recording, and
That's awesome.
I'm so glad that he did because it was a fun moment. And every time
It
I get
really
to go to
was.
the park and say hi to the boss, that's a good time.
Yeah. That's great.
All right, Facebook looker. I'm looking for Facebook user. Sorry, I'm looking forward to that Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And I'll tell you why. Because when I was a kid,
Yeah.
that movie traumatized me. That movie gave me so many nightmares. My parents had so many therapy bills that they had to pay because of that movie. And now, as an adult, I get to look back on that and laugh hysterically because now I'm in it. I can't tell you what yet, but I can tell you that I'm in it. So the fact that we've come full circle, that's hilarious to me.
Very cool. Very cool. Mike
Daniel,
Cunningham. Sorry.
Oh.
Suck up. I actually fucking like her.
Kristen. He's talking about Kristen. No,
Yeah,
but
he
Daniel, we share a birth year, and what comes to mind from my childhood is My Little Pony. Have you ever worked with Ellie Ray on anything, or
No, I haven't, but I would love to. I would love
right?
to. Anytime I go to conventions and I see the bronies out there, I'm like, yes, yes, more of that, please.
Hey, just so you know, Kevin Lowney, our spotlight guest this week, has posted in the chat the link to Daniel's TikTok of that video. So it's
Thank
in
you,
the
Kevin.
chat, in the chat.
It is so. What an
We have a
awesome
couple more
moment. I
questions
don't know. It
here.
really comes through, even though it's someone else's video and we're not there. I felt like I was there. I'm like, holy crap.
We have
He's
to do
like
the same
pointing.
every single time you're interviewed, you have to answer the same questions. So let's get it out of the way now. Do you have to move to LA in order to work in animation? And what is your studio setup?
Okay. Well, first of all, my studio setup is a closet that's been retrofitted here in my office to be soundproof. So I'm in my creative space. I can adjust the lighting in here. I can play, whatever music is going to get me in the mood. And I do the bulk of the work here, and then I go into my booth and I do what I need to do. So that's my recording setup. Do you have to be in Los Angeles? The answer practically is no. You don't have to be in Los Angeles, but I do think it's important to be. And here's why. This is where all the people who are making the moves happen to live and happen to work. So if you want to network with producers, if you want to network with writers, casting directors, voice directors, other voice actors, I think you have to be where the action is. And so I had considered moving up to New York at one point. I had considered, Atlanta. And I realized I just needed to shake it up entirely and try to be where the big studios are. And I think that was the right choice for me. Other people may have different circumstances, but look, we can work remotely. Many didn't have before. You'd have to be in the studio or else you wouldn't get those opportunities. But I do think there is a lot of value in being here where the movers and shakers are, getting face time. Again, staying in people's periphery, I think, is really important. So, yeah, I would suggest if you want to be in animation or video games, Los Angeles is a good choice. But yeah, since you can do it remotely, as long as you've got a pipeline of auditions coming in, let's say you're repped by an agent, you can do it anywhere and work remotely.
All right, Daniel, you exude gratitude. So many inspirational stories. Thank you for sharing your journey. Stephanie. Speaking of which, can you tell us a little bit about Lucky?
Thank you, Stephanie. Yes, as Rob Paulson often likes to say, he has an attitude of gratitude, and that resonates so much
Yeah,
with me
absolutely.
because at the end of the day, you know, work is going to be work, but you have to enjoy it. And so I am grateful that I have an opportunity to spread some joy, make some smiles and some laughs. Uh, I never thought that was going to be a part of who I was. And so I have that opportunity now, and I'm never giving it up. um, what was the second part there?
Oh, nothing. Just thank you. She said. I was just curious
Oh,
about your journey on how you got lucky for Lucky
Lucky,
Charms.
Lucky the
Yeah.
Leprechaun. Yes, thank you for the refresher. So when I moved to Los Angeles in 2014, I was working overnights at Target. I was the logistics manager, all the trucks coming in, the freight going out, and it was probably the hardest job I've ever had. But at the moment, I decided it was time to leave to get rid of my health care and steady paycheck. Uh, I had started booking some things, and my gut was telling me it's time to move on. It's time to really embrace uh, whatever's going to happen on the voiceover side of things. And as I was saying my goodbyes, and I was driving off the parking lot, my agent, Michaela Hicks, formerly Stepanovich at the time from Solid Talent, calls me and she says, "You booked Lucky the Leprechaun." And I kid you not, it was one of those moments I thought to myself, the universe is giving me a sign here that I got lucky. I got lucky. Oh my gosh, I really got lucky. And so I had the good fortune of being one of the voices of Lucky the Leprechaun for a couple years, and that was just such a treat. That was such a treat. I think there's probably been like 13 or 14 of us who have voiced Lucky. I don't currently voice him, but it was so much fun because I love Lucky Charm cereal, and that was the one thing that my grandparents would let me have when I would visit that my
Oh.
parents would not let me have.
Same with
So
my grandparents. It was Fruit Loops. It was
Gee,
unheard of in my house, but
I can't see
I don't
why
get
your
it.
parents wouldn't give you sugar. I don't know. Maybe it's
I,
me.
I always like to say I would pick out all the marshmallows and mush them into a ball.
Yes.
And then after I was finished eating it, it would look like I murdered a unicorn because of all the colors on my hands.
Oh
So
no.
yeah, that's my Lucky Charms story. And to this day, the fans of Lucky are incredible. And again, I'm grateful to be a little piece of that legacy.
Nice. Terry.
This question is from my boy Nevin Stoltz. What is the most important thing to keep in mind when stepping into the booth for an audition?
Oh, what a great question.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it's important to leave your day at the door and to go in with as much creative freedom as possible. I think that fear is the antithesis of creativity. And when you're anxious or nervous about, like, am I going to get this job? I need to book this job. Maybe they're not going to like me. Maybe this, maybe that. When the wheels start spinning, you can't bring that into the booth with you because it's going to prevent you from doing what you've been trained to do. So sometimes I like to meditate. Sometimes I like to listen to music. Sometimes I'll run around the apartment to get my heart rate up and to just kind of bypass anything that I'm thinking about so that I can be in the moment and be present. So I think that's probably the most important thing, at least for me. Leave your day at the door and let the creative side of your brain have full reign over what you're about to do.
If you try to do an audition with all that luggage and your dumpster full, your brain dumpster, it comes over the microphone. The microphone
Yes, it
picks that
does.
up. My microphone picks up cockroaches having sex in the wall. It's going to pick up if I'm in a bad mood. I mean,
What does
seriously.
that sound like, Jim? You're a voice actor.
Different.
Finished already?
What have I gotten myself into?
You said yes.
I did.
Hey, listen, we're coming up on 9 o'clock, so if anybody has any last-minute questions, please get them up, if you will. Daniel, thanks for joining us, man. I really appreciate it. It's been too
Absolutely.
long.
Thank you
It's
for
been too
having
long.
me. What a joy to talk to all of you.
When's the
This was
last
so much
time we
fun.
actually hooked up together?
Yes, indeed. And in Switzerland, of all places.
Switzerland
My
was the
goodness, what a
first.
gorgeous place to be.
Did I see you in Atlanta last year?
Yes.
Yes, we
So
did.
both of those things, I have to say thank you, JMC and JMC Demos, for
There you
having
go.
me and letting me come to VoiceOver Atlanta and Switzerland for the VoiceOver retreat. That was really, really something. I look forward to hopefully doing that again.
All right, we have one last question, Grace.
Facebook user asks, what do you do when you are sick and can't audition or work on your current projects?
I work on getting better.
Yeah.
That's my job. You know, if here's the thing, sometimes your vocal quality, if you're sick, might play into the character that you're voicing. You have to know the difference if that's something that you can use to your advantage.
Right, but you also have to be able to
Oftentimes,
recreate that audition too, if you
true,
get the gig.
exactly. You
Yeah.
have to have consistency. But sometimes, you know, it puts you in a certain mental place. Oftentimes in the morning, I'll audition for deep, resonant characters because you got that morning voice, you know, and that's easy to replicate. So sometimes I use that to my advantage. But my job is to get better so that I can be back up and running as quickly as possible. And what does that entail? That entails rest, like we were talking about earlier in this interview. Getting good rest, making sure you're staying hydrated. I like to keep my sinuses clear. I use a device called Navage. Plug. I'm not sponsored, but I love the device. It
I like you
sticks in your
saying it.
nose and flushes water in and
Navage.
sucks it out. So that keeps me nice and clear, and it
Is that a
prevents.
nebulizer, Daniel?
No, it's like a neti pot,
It's like
a
a neti pot, yeah.
mechanized neti pot.
Ah,
And
okay.
so it has salinated water. You have a little pod, a salt pod you put in, and it salinates the water so it doesn't sting. And then it flushes your sinuses out. And
Okay.
not only is that great for allergy prevention or inflammation, but it also helps with postnasal drip at night. So when
Nice.
you're waking up in the mornings, you know, sometimes your voice is
It's me.
devastated.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that really helps me.
Okay.
Well, Daniel, thank you so much again. Thanks for joining us. We'll have to get you back on the show as we go through the rotations again at some point. I wish we had a lot
Absolutely.
more time to talk to you. It's been a blast. It really
I
has.
know.
Thank
Wow.
you. Thank you for having me. Yes, anytime. I'd love to. For those of you who don't know, the little linky poo is on this side over here. You can follow me at actordanielross.com. My handle on social media is actor Daniel Ross across the board. Follow me on TikTok, Instagram. If you're interested in coaching with me, you can book time with me through my website. I love helping other people where I can and helping them avoid some of the pitfalls that I encountered along the way. So yeah, thank you again for having me, and I
Daniel,
hope everybody stays in touch.
I know animation and video games are apples and oranges. Do you coach for video games as well?
I do.
Perfect. Okay.
And in fact, much of my work these days is in video games.
Right.
So we're having fun on both sides of it.
Yeah, I listened to all of your demos earlier, and your range is incredible. I was just like, what? Okay, demo 101 when I make mine. Very good. I'll model it after yours. All the range
And
stuff.
an intentional plug, produced by JMC Demos. Thank you very much, JMC.
Very good.
Send
He's
us the
amazing.
check.
Very good.
Yeah, right?
Anything left, Terry? Anything left from you? You
Nope,
good?
we good. Oh,
Don't want to
Nope.
say damn or nothing. You good?
damn.
All right, cool.
Thank you, Daniel. This was awesome. This was
Thanks,
so much fun.
Daniel.
It's my
Appreciate
pleasure,
it, buddy.
guys. Take care.
We'll talk soon, my friend.
Bye, y'all. Bye, everyone. Okay. Oh, wait.
So
we're
that
still
was
on.
cool, huh?
It was so cool.
Yeah.
We
So
had a
cool.
couple.
That was a really fun episode.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it really was. Really was. It's not Thursday night unless we're all snacking John.
Because what Kristen said earlier.
Oh, right. Okay.
Now that's a thing now.
She
Oh,
probably
geez.
had her little baby and she was trying to type. Remember last
No,
time
I
when
think
she was
somebody
on?
else said it about Kristen. I think it was a Facebook user, but either way, we're back.
Oh no, she was yeah,
The
okay.
question.
She knows.
Version of Jim's apartment. What? There's a whole Jom thing going on here.
Jom.
Uh,
Jom is going viral.
Jeez.
You know
Is
the
it
movie?
Jom? Is your name Jom Frink now?
It is John Frink.
Jom Frink.
John
Our
Frank.
character,
Nice.
John Frink.
And I guess I ruined cockroaches for everybody.
Oh, Kristen wants to know, did she miss the TMI bonus question? We did it at the beginning this time.
Yeah, just because we figured somebody would ask the pantless question, the TMI question, Kristen, was myself as someone who has dressed up as Winnie the Pooh for Halloween, just a red shirt and a pot of honey. We asked him how he felt about being pantless in front of all those kids as Donald Duck. That's all. Yeah.
Inappropriate.
Sorry.
As
Wasn't
usual.
inappropriate. Hey, Steve Ward finally made it to the party. Hey, guys, we'll see you next time, okay? J. Michael Collins is coming up in 2 weeks and talk
Who?
about Atlanta, which will be about a month. Let me get you back on here.
I
Grace,
love
I'm
how
sorry.
I'm a
There you are.
twirling circle.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
So
and
JMC.
I actually thought J. Michael was going to be on this one. I got mixed up with the guest list. But y'all don't want to miss that episode because Terry's
Because
already laughing.
in the words of Grace, y'all don't want to miss the TMI bonus question. When we first discussed the TMI bonus question, she said, "This is the one for JMC, and I'm asking it." So stay tuned for that. And of
Actually,
course, JMC will be talking about commercial trends for 2024
Yes.
and talk about VO Atlanta coming up a month after he's on the show with us. And then on the 22nd, Tina Marasco.
Damn.
Oh,
Cricket's going to have to stay up late for that one, without
Yeah.
a doubt. Hey, guys, thanks a lot. We had a great
Yes.
time.
And
Yeah.
tune in next week because I might be canceled after next or 2 weeks.
Oh,
Tune in
you
next
great.
episode. I might be canceled after that.
Yeah. Join the VO duo.
Right. Bye.
See you guys.